We're here with Rob Cameron. Welcome to the Business Advisory Show. How are you, Rob?
I'm very well, thank you for having me. That's fantastic.
That's great. And how's XeroCon going for you?
We've had a fantastic day. We've been overwhelmed by interest, and so we've been run off our feet. So it's been a very long day. It's always exciting to be up here.
Yeah, terrific. And you may feel like you've earned a beer or a lemonade or something at the end of the day. Yes.
Yes, we've got another day tomorrow, so we have to hold ourselves in check. But it's a little bit of exhaustion. But actually, I could talk about FYI until the cows come home. So it's amazing when you think you've done it as long as you can. Then someone comes up and says, "Tell me, I'll do it again."
And you do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just on that, for our viewers out there and listeners out there, what is FYI in case they're not aware?
Yep. So it's almost it's an interesting product to find because it actually crosses over a few different categories. But to start off with, it's almost like the table stakes. It is a complete paperless office in the cloud. And it's built especially for accountants and bookkeepers, and it's actually exclusive to the Xero platform. We've deliberately made that choice, partly about the integrations, everything we wanted to do with it. So that's the fundamentals, is making it so that you have every document, every interaction is in the cloud. It's easy to use and find stuff. That's the baseline. But beyond that, moving on is saying let's have elements of CRM, task management, process automation, collaboration. So we've actually gone outside a traditional category and made it so there's a wide range, because that's actually what accountants need. They need a crossover of a whole bunch of different products, and that's what we've done.
Yeah, great. And my personal opinion is this could really help accountants moving into business advisory and I guess as it scales, bookkeeping as well. What would you say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's slightly indirect, but I absolutely agree. And the reason for that is a couple of things. One is you need to free up the capacity in your practice to do that stuff. And the reality is, if you just keep on getting more and more compliance work, that's where you have to get the compliance done. So I think freeing up capacity is a critical thing. And the other thing is you actually use it to actually automate the parts of the advisory work that you can. Because if it's completely bespoke and you're doing it each time, that's hard work. But if we can actually make it so that the management reports are being pumped out automatically with a good covering email, and you don't have to do anything, or the quarterly management meetings with the A-grade clients are being set up automatically, you can take some of that repetitive stuff out of the advisory work and make it so you can focus. And ultimately, we're not going to be in the fundamental game of the strategy and things like that, but you need that free capacity to make that happen.
Yeah, and so what I'm hearing is that the more you can streamline your compliance, but also the way you manage the business, manage the client interactions, all the communication and documentation pieces, then the more capable you will be from a capacity point of view.
Absolutely. It's a sideways twist on the work in the business, on the business, but if you don't get that time free, if you're chasing your tail, you've got 3,000 emails in your inbox and you never get clear of it, you haven't got the time, you haven't got the headspace as well. So it's really making it so that you can free up yourselves and do that critical thinking about your clients and moving outside of just dealing with very transactional stuff.
Yeah, now this is an unfair question, but it's about you from a favouritism point of view. What's your absolute favourite thing about FYI?
Absolutely, hands down, the automation engine. So we actually fell upon it a little bit. We had broadly want to be in this area, but we had this moment where about a year and a half ago, we said, how could we make email filing easier? And we said, I could drag and drop, I could do this. And we realised the ultimate thing would be we'll do it for you. Well, actually, if we see the pattern, which is often like email address or a threaded email, we'll automatically file it for you, which was a great moment. And then we looked across and went, hang on a second, why couldn't we do that with tax assessments from the ATO, or calendar entries out of Outlook, or client's Dropbox, or BGL, or now Infinity? In which case, we found 15 different data sources that we could actually get documents from, automatically file, and then move a step beyond and actually do the processing. Compare the assessment with Xero Tax, and if it agrees, automatically create an outbound email and notify the client. So the automation engine is our favourite feature by far.
Yeah, fantastic. What's your favourite thing and your least favourite thing about what you actually do as a professional?
It's really interesting. The hardest thing in being we're moving out of startup phase, and we've now gone for a while, but the toughest thing in the past in startup phase, if anyone's ever think of it, is you have to do so many things in a day. So I'm looking, and we're getting to the stage now where hiring a lot of people is getting back to focusing on product strategy and not being driven from a range of different things. That's my biggest thing. What do I love? Actually, I don't know how I got lucky, but I fell into this job about 20 years ago from a guy called David Smith, and I love what I do. So I just get up in the morning and roll out of bed and go, yeah, it's game time. So literally, it's a fantastic profession, and also to have tech on top of accountancy, it couldn't get any better.
Great. Our two business questions. So the first one is, as a business owner, what do you think has been the most important lesson for you to learn over the journey?
Yeah, that's a really on the fly, a really tough question. I think in terms of going very deep is just perseverance. So you just have to keep on going. So that's the biggest thing is you can't lose your nerve. You have to keep on going. Probably the other thing is I do a lot of my background or my love is product strategy, and actually to make sure that you have an actual defendable strategy that is going to win the battle, win whatever, is to be able to make sure that you have a north point that you're heading towards to say, yep, I'm comfortable with it. And like I said, then it's perseverance, never give up, never give up.
I've got a million stories about if I could have my time over, how I might do things differently. Not to coerce you into a comment about that, but when you look back, if you had a chance at a second crack at a few things, what might you do differently?
I sold a business too early once, which I regretted. So I think there's a danger, and I'm a chartered accountant, so maybe there's a little bit of a wanting to take money off the table type thing that we sometimes it's falling to the caricature. But that would be the only thing is I look around at other people who have stayed longer and built bigger businesses, and I look at people like Atlassian and companies like that, and I'm just in awe of them. And so because they would have been offered all sorts of exits, but they just have remained and built an incredible Australian business. So that's one thing I look back and regretted a little bit. Not a lot.
Fantastic. Thanks for being on the show today, mate. It's been great.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.